So this video is all about another tool that I want you to use in order to help you reset. I am going to read from my notes because the video that I'm making is a reflection of where I am at personally at the minute, and these are the steps that I have journaled and the plan that I am making for me. And I know that by giving you my real life example, that you'll be able to relate to that an awful lot more, and that it will be just another tool that you can say, yes, I can see what she's doing, so I can see how to do it. The other thing I want to outline at the start is I spend loads of my time studying, and I spend loads of my time understanding behaviour. And I have lots of tools and I have lots of recognition of what's happening, but just because I have the tools doesn't mean that I don't experience the same feelings you're feeling, or that I can just click my fingers and stop myself feeling out of control, or stop myself slipping into that place where I feel that my thoughts are taking over my actions, and that I'm out of that control. And for me, when I'm out of control, it very much directly relates to the junk food that I eat, and my spending very much relates to both of those, and I can be willy-nilly and go off the charts. So I've very much been there and for the last few weeks. So what I'm talking to you about is my personal skills on to reset. So I'm going to just take you through my own journal notes. The first thing that I need to do is I need to acknowledge and recognize that I'm human, you're human, we're all human, and falling off the wagon and is completely part of life and part of the journey. The skill of life is to learn to reset, and that's what we're doing here today. With that being said, what I need to do is make sure that I recognize that I was very much in a place where my feelings were controlling my actions, and you can't always be on top of that. You can't always be on top of that. And listen, I'm the first to say to you, you don't control your feelings, you only control your actions, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't mean that you don't feel your feelings, and sometimes your feelings don't take over. Recognize that does happen. Recognize that you're human. Draw a line in the sand and then say, yeah, look, I'm doing my best. And that's what this is about. I'm doing my best, and now tomorrow I'm going to reset and I'm going to try again. So what does that reset look like? The first thing for the reset is to lock in place an exercise plan. To lock in place where you are making it non-negotiable that I'm going to do exercise. Now this exercise must be very easy, must be very achievable, and something short in duration. So there is no need to flog yourself to death. So flogging yourself to death is a punishment. We are trying to get you back on the wagon with long-term sustainable habits. And if you put yourself in a place where you're flogging yourself to death, you are not going to reset. If you set in stone an opportunity to do simple exercise that you don't hate and it's short in duration, you're going to get yourself to a place where you can get through it, and then you're back on the wagon. So it is really important that you set that exercise that's doable, achievable, and short in duration. For me, I've locked in that tomorrow at 9 o'clock I'm going to get on the treadmill. I'm going to do a 30-minute slow run. I'm going to warm up for 5 minutes. I have 20 minutes in between. I'm going to run a minute, walk a minute, run a minute, walk a minute, and then I'm going to cool down for 5 minutes. For me, that's very easy, very doable, and there's no pressure. I'm also taking the pressure off myself to have to go outside, because that brings in the variable of the weather, and also because I feel a little unconfident and a little bit shitty at the moment, it also takes away the judgment of others. And like I said, just because I know all the skills doesn't mean I'm also not a victim, or I'm also not vulnerable to feeling all of those. So step one is very much to lock that easy exercise choice in place. Set the time in place, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, force yourself to do it. I wrote down here, cry if you have to, but you got to get it done. And you need to do this process as many times as it takes to get you back on the wagon. So this could take 2 weeks for some, this could take 1 day for others, right? You need to set that time in place, make it easy, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just make it happen. Remember, to get your habit going, first get it back easy, and then we can build on. So what will start as 30 minutes slow jog for me might become 30 minutes a little bit faster, might become 32 minutes, might become 40 minutes, and that's how I build on. Next, food stuff. Resetting doesn't involve crazy diets or cutting foods. That crap belongs in quick fix culture. I want you to follow this simple plan. Each step of the plan will take you to a different length of time, so you can stay in one part for a day or a week or whatever it takes you, right? Step one. Return to eating your normal foods at your normal times. Just go back to your normal day. For me, that would look like my breakfast, my cappuccino, my Kimberley, my lunch, and then my dinner. So I want you just to return back to your normal routine, like whatever that looks like for you. For some people, you don't have breakfast, or other people you have breakfast. So get yourself back to your normal routine. Step 1 does not involve changing your food. It doesn't involve dieting. It doesn't involve trying to be well behaved. It involves your normal routine. Second, let's get you back sleeping. Let's get you back sleeping, because you can't do this if you're absolutely dead so. It's too hard, it's too difficult. Third, with your routine back in place, let's look at adding some good stuff. So I don't want you cutting out, I want you adding back in vegetables. Drink more water and cut out any processed or junk foods where you can. We're still not at the point of counting calories, not yet. Fourth, when you feel that you're back to your routine and you've added in good food and you've got your exercise back going, now is time to track calories. Don't launch into tracking your calories straight away. That's unsustainable, unachievable, and listen, you're going to feel like shit, right? So do the other steps first. And then if you're tracking, use your personalized tracker, right? Because accountability is key. What gets measured gets managed. But when it comes to the tracker, I always say, don't look to track every single day, because that's unsustainable, unachievable, and then it becomes a chore. What I want you to do is maybe start with 1 day in the week. Next week you can do 2 days, or maybe, just maybe, you're going to do 1 meal at a time. So you know the steps. I'm going to email the steps as well. I'm going to put them in place so that you can see this step by step. I'll send them to your email, and I label it tips for resetting, and then you'll be able to research it. If you're watching back this video, you'll be able to search it from the web. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get our shit together. Let's get back on track, and let's do this.